Welcome to This Is Our Town with Jeff Yorkie, a local public affairs presentation on MonroeCountyRadio.com.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Our Town. And we have in our town this week, once again, the world famous now, John Allen from the all-new Allen Chevrolet. John, welcome back. You're becoming an old hat. You're old hat at this radio thing now.
Yeah,
right?
you know, it's I enjoy being here, and I'm glad you guys keep inviting me back.
Hey, we're always glad to have you back. Last time I talked to you was a Friday night a couple of weeks ago at the All-Star game.
Yes, that was a great time.
Did you have fun?
Oh, that was a blast.
I told you that was going to be a good time, wasn't it?
I was when you asked me, I said yes, and I was like, what did I get myself into?
And you know what? I was really impressed, and this is absolutely. I'm not. Trying to go overboard with the compliments, but you could tell that you were well prepared for the game, and you did a really nice job.
Well, thank you. I for about 5-6 hours the day of the game, I locked myself in my office and watched highlight film.
Yeah,
and I never thought I'd be, watching 6 hours of highlight film of high school football and taking notes and loving it. So
yeah.
It was awesome. Yeah,
as you can tell that because we both talked about how we expected the game to unfold. Mm-hmm. And isn't it funny, especially in an all-star game where you don't know these players,
correct,
in a team setting, and they're all from different types of offensive formations, defensive formations, but from their personnel and the coaches, you can kind of get an idea of how they're gonna run it. And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, no, I can't tell you how many times, watching the highlight films and, we called it out and we're like, oh, yep, seen that play before and seen them do that and we're surprised by that. And, no, it was really cool and it was very interesting and it was a blast watching it. I really hope we did a great job conveying what a great game it was.
I hope so, too. I don't know, my favorite moment, though, honestly, was at one point, I don't know if you remember this, one of your commercials had just run. And it was about the 48-hour buyback rule.
Yeah, yes.
Right? Yeah. And so I said to John, I said, so does that mean, John, that I could go in, I could buy a Corvette, and then 48 hours, I could just take it back, and you give me my money back, and then I could buy another Corvette, keep that, and drive it around for 2 more days, and keep taking it back? And you go, well, yeah, I guess you could. I wish you wouldn't, though. So yeah, no, you know what? That was a blast. I had a lot of fun up there, and I love football, as everybody knows. Everybody that listens to the show and listens to the broadcasts during the fall, and it was a pleasure to have you up there. And I hope you had as good a time as I did.
I did, and I would. I'd love to do it again. We're expecting a baby girl in September 9th, right in the heart of that football season, and. On Father's Day, I actually kind of brought it up to my wife a little bit. And I was like, they asked me if I wanted to do it again. And I was like, yeah, I might be able to do it on Fridays. And the look I got, I was like, oh,
yeah.
Wow. I was like, I thought I might be able to get it on Father's Day. So, yeah. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. My kids are older. That's the only way I'm getting away with it. But yeah, it is fun. It's a blast. Love doing it. So now let's talk a little bit about, we're getting close to the 4th of July.
Yes, we are.
And what does that mean?
Big things happen.
The savior, here we are talking to the savior of Monroe's fireworks this year, right?
Yes.
And so fireworks, we expect them to go off as planned. And maybe a little bit better this year, right?
Yes, yeah. We put a lot of effort into that to make sure we had some great people real come together.
And for those of you that don't remember, you may recall that it looked like we weren't going to have the financing
Correct.
To do fireworks this year. And John and his family and the business, they came through. And Allen Chevrolet is going to sponsor the fireworks
Correct.
This year, and we're going to make them bigger and better than ever, right?
Correct. And I mean, that was the goal. So Brad reached out and he let everybody know that there wasn't going to be any fireworks. And so I reached out to him and let him know to see what we can do. And it was a little bit more money than we anticipated. And so at the time we were like, you cannot not have fireworks for the 100th anniversary for the Sterling State Pike. So we were like, it's just the right thing to do. Let's do it. And then it's really blown up to this great thing. And they only needed 9,000 to do it. And we go, well, how's the quality of the fireworks show? And he goes, it's a fireworks show. I was like, no. Like, is it going to be a good one? And he goes, it's a fireworks show. I go, well, what would make it a good fireworks show? And he goes, 14. I'm like, all right, 14 it is. And got to talk to, we were able to, some other great sponsors, people stepped up and everything. And and we combined their money, and so the budget, actually the firework budget, just that we're literally blowing up, is $17,500.
Nice.
And they usually ran on 9,000, maybe 11,000. So I mean, we're almost doubling the budget. So it's at to the point where we maxed out the budget for the time frame. So if we spent more money, it would just make it longer.
Right.
And they said anything longer than 25 minutes, you start losing attention spans. So,
Sure.
Not to mention how late it is, and it's hard to get out of the
That's why the show never goes longer than 25 minutes.
Correct. So, yeah. So that's, so we were like, okay, let's do it. And we were like, we really want to make sure it's an amazing show. The total budget, I think, went all the way up to $26,000.
Wow.
We were able to get a bunch of people really pitched in. From the Greektown Casino to the bait shop, Yost Plumbing. You guys are donating radio space. We were very, very pleased with how many people stepped up.
How many more Corvettes are you going to have to sell now?
We're going to have to sell a lot. So
A lot?
A lot. And, when we tell people how much money we actually make on these cars, people always assume we're lying.
Right.
There's no markup in these things. So
yeah, there's not as much as people think.
No. So we need people to buy a lot of them, and not to mention get them fixed. So
get what fixed?
Well, the vehicle when it breaks, because it will break.
Oh, you mean get it fixed back at your service department?
Yes.
At your
At
great
our
service department.
Amazing. Who was
Actually
just nominated
maintained.
for best of the best, by the way.
You can just have them maintained.
Correct, or maintained, yes.
Them brand new Chevys you sell, they'd take forever before anything goes wrong with them, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I hope. So I'll knock
as
on
long
wood
as you're
right here.
maintaining them,
As long as you
but you
maintain
got to
it,
go back
correct.
to the Allen Chevrolet service department, and then they'll change your oil, check the you can't. Spark plugs don't need to be changed for like 1 million miles anymore. Whatever happened with what's up with that? There's not much to do maintenance wise on cars anymore, is there?
But it's a different type of maintenance now.
Right.
So it's just like a lot of things, and General Motors has done a wonderful job with the quality, especially with Chevrolet and with Cadillac. That if you maintain it, it really eliminates a lot of couldn't go wrong.
But that is. I mean, you are correct. Obviously, you're correct. But they do a lot more with the maintenance. But it's a lot. Also, it's a lot of stuff that you can't do. Backyard mechanics.
No, I wouldn't even mess with it.
Yeah, you can't really do that anymore.
No, it's the amount you would. How expensive these tools we have to buy.
Right.
I mean, the tire machine that we have to take the tires off and then remount them, $30,000.
That's crazy.
The mount and take off the tires.
You could have an entire fireworks show for that.
That's what I said. Believe me. And that the meet General Motors to take off these new wheels, because when they do a wheel for a vehicle, it's $1 million in real. So you got to make sure you have the special tools and everything to do it. So the computer systems we have to have, and I mean it feels like every other week I'm buying a new computer to make sure it's up to the newest specs. For updates. Where a lot of these vehicles, where the things that go wrong with it is just computerized, and they're literally like software techs, almost to the point where they go in and they just update the software in the car, and it reprograms shifting patterns for the transmission.
So this really is the all new Allen Chevrolet.
It is,
right? I mean, if you go to Allen Chevrolet, it's going to be a lot different now.
It's night and day, and. The results are there. We were just informed that we were nominated for best of the best for new car dealership, used car dealership, service department, and best salesperson. And last year they weren't even nominated. So
that's great.
If you can, we'd appreciate a vote.
That's great.
We'd like to be a best of the best of the best for all 4 categories. So
sounds good. All right, let's get back to the fireworks, because the fireworks are coming up here on. Is it on the? Are they going to be on the 3rd? It's going to be
on the 3rd. Starts at 1. The fireworks are going to shoot off at 10. No joke. They're expecting record crowds, tons of people to be there. So if you're thinking,
how is it going to be different this year?
How is it going to be different?
Yep.
So tons of signage. So there's going to be tons of police out there to guide everybody, to let everybody in. There's going to be obviously the fireworks show is going to be great, but we have tons of signage everywhere to help. Parking this way, bathrooms this way. The big change is there's going to be a lot of extra bathrooms, up to I think it's 15 or 20 additional porta potties that are going to be everywhere.
That's going to be great.
we wanted to make sure we got additional lighting. The biggest complaints were restrooms and lighting. So
Right.
this is it's a good trial run to see, did we get adequate enough bathrooms? If people are like, hey, we still need more bathrooms, then next year we'll do more bathrooms, lighting, etc. We're trying a couple other little things to see how they work. And we'd like to, for next year, because we actually bought the way we're doing it, we bought the naming rights. And so that's why it's called the Allen Chevrolet Cadillac Fireworks Festival.
Well, it should, for all that money you ponied up.
And we said we're going to continue doing this every single year, and for as long as it makes sense, and we're hoping it makes sense for a long, long time.
Because that means you're making money.
Yes. And we want to turn it into a true festival. And so we have some great ideas. We're working with Jason at the state park, and we really want to we're working on some ideas to generate some money for the state park. Because believe it or not, so you go into the state park and you got to pay them $16, whatever, for the year, because you live in Monroe. None of that money goes to the state park, for the Sterling State Park. I mean, maybe a couple cents. That money that goes to a general fund. So we're actually kind of working on some ideas to help raise some money for the Sterling State Park. I mean, we have 12,000 people coming in the Sterling State Park, and so they're going to get 1 penny from it. Wow. Matter of fact, it costs them money because they have to have all these people extra and everything. So we want to do some things to help raise some money, because everybody talks about what a wonderful park it is. It's actually a top 5 park in the state.
Absolutely.
And
I don't know anybody that doesn't know a family member or somebody that hasn't camped out there, hasn't gone fishing out there, hasn't gone boating out there. I mean, everybody hasn't had some sort of an event. I know my son was in cross country a few years ago. They hosted a meet out there. I mean, there's always something going on at Sterling State Park.
Yeah, and we have some great plans, things that we can do to help some raise money that would just go towards that park.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're going to work on. We're going to work on it a little bit for this year, generate some income. So, I mean, obviously, if you've been to the park, it's made the news a little bit about some of the things that are in disrepair. So we're hoping to raise some money for that. And then some things for the remainder of the year. We're trying to put some things together to really get it going. And what's going to be back in it is going to be the Allen Foundation.
And that's what I was going to get to next. Yeah.
Is the Allen Foundation.
Tell everybody about the Allen Foundation. This is brand new?
Yeah, this is new. We've had it for a little while, and we're trying to expand because there's a lot of legal work that has to be done on what you can take money for and donate for and sponsor and everything. So the Allen Foundation.
Lawyers.
Yeah.
Jeez. I know.
So, so we have to make sure everything is done, correctly. So, taking money for the state park and donating to the state park isn't part of what the foundation was set up for. So we need to work on that, but the Allen Foundation right now is primarily we do a lot with foster children.
Okay.
And there's actually a lot of foster kids here in Monroe County.
Yes, there are.
So about 400. My father is extremely involved with it. Matter of fact, it's almost like a full-time job for him. Spent probably about 40 hours a week on it. And you probably see him at the courthouse quite a bit, I imagine. So he's extremely involved. He's extremely passionate about it. And we want to do more. So there's a lot that we're already planning with that. But there's more need out there besides just foster. Not to mention, even what we're doing right now isn't enough. So we want to do as much as we can and expand what we can. And if we can help piggyback and work with the state park and these fireworks and these different events, generate some money for the Allen Foundation so we can do some great, but not only that, but generate money so we can donate it back to the Sterling State Park. Because if it comes to the Allen Foundation can send the money wherever they want.
Yeah.
So that means they can go directly to the Sterling State Park for whatever they need. And new ball diamond, new tractors, new sidewalk here. I mean, whatever. So, and it would be at their disposal. So that's what we would love to do.
So that's the Allen Foundation, and the Allen Foundation. Did that sort of stem from? Is that something that your dad put together?
Yeah, it's something he put together. Is a
kind of
as a charity
vehicle for the foster care program that he's so cares about. But then in addition to that, kind of expand that, use the park and the fireworks and everything else as sort of a springboard to help whatever needs help here in the community, right?
Correct. And we want to make sure that we provide, that's what's so important. We want to make sure the fireworks turns into a wonderful event so that way people want to come. And if we provide a wonderful atmosphere, people have no problem paying the little bit extra or donating. And basically what it is donating the extra for such a great environment. So that's what we really want to work for the next year, is put on such a wonderful event in an environment. People are like, this is a bargain.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'd be happy to give.
That's great. That's absolutely great. Well, you know what, John? I want to thank you so much for coming on again. You come on anytime you want.
Yeah,
anytime
fun.
you want to talk about the Allen Foundation, you want to talk about if you just want to talk about cars, we can do
sounds
that too.
good. I'm right down the road.
Or whatever. Yeah.
We got football season coming up.
We got football season coming up. Then we got basketball.
Yeah.
You got to try that.
Try that
Yeah.
and
Your
everything.
jaw will be tired after that.
That
basketball
a little bit
game.
quick, huh?
It's a little quick, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, fast moving stuff. It's good.
No, I love it. I love it.
Good. All right. Hey, love having you on the show. Always do. John, good to see you. Have fun out at the 4th of July festivities.
Yeah, I hope to see everybody there.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be having them. So thank you again on behalf of the entire community. Thanks, John.
You're
and
welcome.
Thanks to the whole Allen family and the all-new Allen Chevrolet. You guys are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
So glad to have you guys back. That is all the time we have for this edition of This Is Our Town. I want to thank everybody for listening, and we'll see you next week. Have a happy and safe 4th of July. Take care, everybody.
Join us every Sunday at noon and Tuesday at 7 p.m. for another edition of This Is Our Town with Jeff Yorkie, a local public affairs presentation of MonroeCountyRadio.com.
This is our town, the place we call home.